The massive ships hung in Earth's sky like black thunderclouds, their hulls stretching for kilometers across the horizon. Admiral Kane stood on the bridge of humanity's flagship, watching the alien fleet through the viewscreen with growing dread. 300 vessels, each one dwarfing Earth's largest battleships, had arrived without warning 6 months ago. The Vortani had given humanity one simple ultimatum: surrender or face extinction. They claimed Earth's strategic position near the galactic core made it too valuable to leave in the hands of what they called primitive mammals. Humanity had precisely 1 year to evacuate or be removed by force. Today marked the final day. "Sir, incoming transmission from the Vortani command ship," reported Lieutenant Brooks from the communications station. Kane nodded grimly. "Put it through." The view screen flickered, revealing Commander Vex, the Vortani fleet leader. His elongated face bore the typical ridged features of his species, with large black eyes that seemed to hold nothing but contempt for humanity. Admiral Kane, Vex's voice carried through the universal translator with mechanical precision. "Time has expired. Have you reconsidered our generous offer?" Kane straightened his shoulders. "Commander, I'm here to make one final plea. Earth is our home. We've lived here for thousands of years, built our entire civilization here. Surely there must be some way we can coexist." Vex's expression remained unchanged. "Your species shows promise in some areas, but you lack the technological advancement necessary for membership in the Galactic Union. Your planet will be repurposed for more suitable inhabitants." "We're not asking to join your union," Kane pressed. "We just want to survive on our own world. We'll stay within our solar system, won't interfere with galactic affairs." "It's impossible. Your species' violent tendencies and rapid reproduction rate make you a potential threat. The decision has been made by the High Council." Kane felt the weight of 8 billion lives on his shoulders. "Then let me ask you this, Commander. On all your travels across the galaxy, in all the civilizations you've encountered, have you ever seen a species fight harder for their survival than humans?" Vex tilted his head slightly. "Fighting spirit is irrelevant against superior technology, is it?" Kane's voice grew steady. "'Cause I want you to understand something about humanity. We don't just fight for ourselves, we fight for our children, our elders, our neighbors. We fight for strangers on the other side of the planet. When one of us falls, 10 more take their place. When you push us to the brink, we don't surrender. We adapt, we overcome, we survive." Primitive emotion, Vex dismissed. "Your plea is denied. You have 1 hour to begin evacuation procedures." The transmission ended, leaving Kane staring at the blank screen. Around him, the bridge crew waited in tense silence. "Sir," Brooks spoke quietly, "what are your orders?" Kane looked around at the faces of his crew. Young men and women who had volunteered to stand between their world and annihilation. They weren't the strongest species in the galaxy, nor the smartest, nor the most advanced, but they were human. "The signal," Kane commanded. Brooks's fingers moved across his console. Across Earth, in hidden bunkers and underground facilities, a coded message reached every corner of the planet. Operation Last Stand was now active. The Vortani had made one critical error in their assessment of humanity. They had assumed that superior technology guaranteed victory. They had never encountered a species that viewed impossible odds not as a reason to surrender, but as a challenge to overcome. For 6 months, while publicly preparing evacuation ships, humanity had secretly worked on something else entirely. Every scientist, every engineer, every brilliant mind on the planet had contributed to a single project. They called it the Prometheus Protocol. 50-7 minutes later, just as the Vortani fleet began moving into attack formation, something extraordinary happened. The space around Earth began to shimmer, reality itself seeming to bend and twist. The quantum field generators, buried deep beneath Earth's surface and powered by the planet's own magnetic field, activated simultaneously, Commander. Vex felt the first tremor run through his flagship as space-time itself began to fluctuate around them. His tactical officer's voice cracked with panic as he reported readings that shouldn't be possible. "Sir, we're detecting massive gravitational anomalies. Something is interfering with our engines." Vex stared at the view screen as Earth seemed to pulse with an inner light. Impossible. They don't have the technology. But humans had something more valuable than advanced technology. We had desperation, ingenuity, and the absolute refusal to go quietly into extinction. The Prometheus Protocol wasn't a weapon in any conventional sense. It was humanity's attempt to turn Earth itself into a gravitational anomaly, a pocket of twisted spacetime that would make their world invisible to sensors and impossible to approach. The calculations had been theoretical, the risks enormous. It might have torn the planet apart or created a black hole, faced with certain extinction. Humanity had chosen to roll the dice on an impossible gamble. One by one, Vortani's ships began to simply fade from existence, not destroyed, but displaced, shunted into parallel dimensions where Earth existed but humanity did not. The massive fleet that had hung over Earth like a sword of judgment vanished without a trace, leaving only empty space and the fading echoes of their quantum signatures as the last ship disappeared. Kane felt tears streaming down his face. Had done it, against all odds, against superior technology and impossible circumstances. Humanity had found a way to survive. The price was isolation. Earth now existed in a quantum bubble, cut off from the rest of the galaxy. But it was their isolation, their choice, their world, in the depths of space. The Galactic Union would mark Earth's location as a dimensional anomaly, a place where physics broke down and ships disappeared. They would never know that behind that barrier, humanity thrived, grew stronger, and prepared for the day they might emerge to take their place among the stars on their own terms. Admiral Kane looked out at the stars, no longer seeing them as destinations but as challenges waiting to be conquered. Humanity had learned the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the greatest victory comes not from winning the battle, but from refusing to accept defeat.